Bed and breakfast, well, they once put us on the map as a holiday destination, but have they been lost to hotels in recent years? And has the recession had an impact? Well, last week, Fiona McLaughlin met up with guest house owners Ronnie Kinnan and Naas, County Kildare, who says that B&Bs are still offering a service that hoteliers can only dream of. Let's just see how she got on.
If the recession is starting to pinch or even bite, now might be the time to start looking at making your property work for you. And believe it or not, there's a long list of ways in which you can make it earn its money. Today though, we're going to focus on the ups and downs of that age-old home industry, the B&B.
Who am I to play God? Who am I to think I can go it alone? Something tells me.
Many years ago, when my children were very young, there was an awful lot of appeals on the radio at the time by Bord Fáilte for people to go into bed and breakfast. And I started, and I did it for about 5 years in just summers, May to September. And it got to a stage where you'd have to extend. We just didn't have the space to make me feel comfortable doing it. I saw this house and I said I'd love that for B&B, and we just went for it and built our extension is custom built for bed and breakfast. So it was like building a second house actually at the time.
How many bedrooms do you have here?
4 guest bedrooms.
4 guest bedrooms?
3 in our own part, say.
And the B&B has been running here for
14 and a half years now.
14 and a half years.
Yeah.
B&B has changed an awful lot over the last few years. For anyone that's thinking about setting up a B&B at the moment, could you talk us through how those changes have maybe impacted on you?
When I started first, we would have had an awful lot of tourists. You know, well, of course, first of all, see those hotels weren't built, that have been built in the last few years. There's been a mushroom of hotels, and they have affected us enormously because you couldn't compete with their prices. There is a place for bed and breakfast, and at the moment they are in decline, but I think they'll come up again because it is an individual Irish product, I think.
Is B&B work seasonal then?
The summer would be much busier than the winter. Now this time of year we just tick over, and I didn't notice any difference in our business until Christmas this year, but since Christmas now there has been a decline, you know.
You talked about the internet. That's obviously a big change since you started.
So our business is actually generated by the internet now. Whereas before, people would come in off the road, but that is very rare now. Most of them are pre-booked.
Do you think people are coming back because of the personal side of it, or do you get feedback like that?
It's like, say, Punchestown now. Most of my people are coming every year, and it's like having friends come to stay.
Right.
You know, and you look forward to it.
Yeah.
And the Oxygen Festival now, I think two lads that are coming back to me have been coming to me since it started, and you know, you look forward to seeing them, and they play football with the dogs and everything, you know.
So for anyone thinking about setting up a B&B at the moment, what advice would you give them?
Well, at the moment now, I'd say it's not the best time for any business, I suppose, you know. But if you could start off in a small way, that you weren't making a huge investment, because like we did make a very big investment here because we built the block for it. But somebody that could start off and maybe look around the area and see what's happening and what's the competition. And if they weren't making a big investment, I'd say go for it, you know. You have to like people. That's another thing I'd say to somebody starting. Don't start this if you don't enjoy meeting people and interacting with people, because otherwise it'd be a nightmare.
Stay with us because Fiona McLaughlin will be exploring